we're the old timers.
Apparently.
In games now.
Apparently, yeah.
All these young kids in the video games. Let's move on. DocPwn 1-0, and I was going to say since I met Doc like quite a while ago in the championships, he always struck me as just like always seems quite happy, quite relaxed, just enjoying the time, regardless of whether it's hanging out or playing the actual game on stage, right? He's just enjoying it. But I do feel as we're getting closer, or as he is getting closer, should I say, you know, moving one stage forward, one more stage forward. He's feeling it a little bit more, even just going into the game then, the body language, just like the zen, okay, let's focus, I'm about to start the next game. Very important to him still.
I mean, this is the first time Doc's faced elimination in this tournament. He's always had that buffer zone. He went straight through winners in his group, so he always had the opportunity to lose. Now the pressure is on. Now all of a sudden he's facing being knocked out in the top 8. As you see some of the differences of DocPwn's deck from the average Highlander priest you'd be looking at. Firstly, of course, he's playing the Dragon package. Lyra is his choice of card engine, if you like. And then Alex Straza is a card we talked about quite extensively because he really wasn't sure. Alex Straza was the 30th card he put in this deck, essentially, and he felt like he needed one more Dragon. There's been a lot of question marks. There is a certain Cobalt Scalebane missing in this list that could have gone in there before Alex Straza.
Yeah, I mean, he said he just went with Alex. He didn't think it was the best card. It was just okay, it did the job. But I will say, again, we talked a lot about taking risks in tournament lineups. And don't get me wrong, changing out one card, for example, isn't the greatest risk in the world. But it makes a difference, and it's something other players aren't going to build their lineup and think, what if someone's bringing Alex Straza in this deck? Can I beat it? Or what does that do to my lineup? That's something that JasonZhou and all of Doc's opponents have to just consider now. It's one extra thing they have to think about that you would normally. So although it might not be the best card choice in his deck, it's one that his opponents have to think about and play around. Both players with Anduin now, so far it's fairly even on the 3 checkbox, or the 2 checkboxes for these decks.
Doc does have the Kazakus, but the Kazakus often not a huge impact on when you play it in the game. If anything, like playing it later in the game can actually help you divine, am I taking a 1-mana potion and going for extra Velen Burst? Am I going for a 5 to try and get some card draw? Is my hand so dry that I need to go for perhaps draw 3 off the 10 option? You know, these are decisions that make or are more clear to you later in the game the more turns that you play.
Or even for a 10 option. I know in general a lot of people are like, oh, you should never take 10. But sometimes, you know, say in the mirror, if Velen's already gone for your opponent, the armor makes a big difference as well. You can last that bit longer depending on the combination you get. So definitely a lot of things to consider. DocPwn considers exactly what turn he wants to make. A lot of the time, Priest of the Feast just on curve feels pretty good.
Yeah, again, Priest of the Feast is another card that can rebound you if you start being put under pressure by your opponent's Shadow Reaper Anduin pinging you down over the course of a couple of turns. So I actually like this Talon Priest play here. It's slightly off curve in that it was a combination of cards for his 4-mana turn when he had 2 solid 4-mana options, but I think both Priest of the Feast and Kazakus, your usage of them becomes clearer the deeper you get into the game. So.
Go for the 5, summon 2, gain 7 armor, or polymorph. Kind of a tough choice, actually. This one, nothing really stands out.
There is a Loot Hoarder that has died for JasonZhou at the moment, which means that summon 2 can serve as a quasi-card draw for him, but the nature of reviving 2 minions, one of which is a Loot Hoarder, means that you then potentially walk into the Potion of Madness from the opponent. But yeah, he's essentially gone for full card draw here because the minions he's going to revive are not threats on the board. That's not why he's reviving them. It's just there is a Loot Hoarder in there. He's going to draw 2 more cards as well. He's actually got so many cards in hand already that it's going to be a bit of a concern for him that he doesn't get into overdraw territory.
Yeah, it gets tricky with Lyra too. Instead of doing like Lyra, Power Word, Shield, you're like, oh wait, oh no, too many cards. And the Mirror play, going for 5 as well. Deal 4 not really that important in this matchup.
Doc did not get fantastic options for his Kazakus potion there. He kind of just shuffle together a hodgepodge of a potion here. Summon 2 friendlies and summon a 5/5 demon is the card that he's ended up with. And so far there is, I believe, just a Glimmer Root in his graveyard that died this turn.
And we'll say he has the potential, if he draws a dragon, to be able to Nether Spite and maybe play these dragons. He can get the Priest of the Feast as well, which is another high value resurrect minion. So he could get another, you just use it as an extra push, you know, just say, well, you wipe the board, but now I've got 3 more minions. One's at least a 5/5. Can you wipe the board again that easily? You know, and then suddenly 5, 8, 10 damage. It's actually a lot. It's a third of your total health.
Getting these decisions right consistently in this matchup does take a large amount of divination to the forward planning, seeing how the game's going to pan out, because in certain scenarios, just picking up extra burst off your Shadow Visions is fantastic. If it's a Holy Smite, if it's a Mind Blast, you can just end the game on the spot with the extra copies of that. Is it removal that you need? And what's it going to be? Is it AoE or is it spot removal? Is it just something that's going to help you?
Too many questions,
but that's like 25% of the questions you have to ask yourself every single turn when you're playing like a complex mirror like this. It's a shame that outside of all of those decisions, the presence of Raza and Anduin at different positions in each deck for each player can often have such a huge impact on how this matchup plays out, because outside of that individual thing, the matchup is so complicated.
It really is, and also I feel like one of the most punishing as well. Like one misstep, and you could just die mainly because of the power of those combos later on, and you even just 1 card behind. I've seen mirrors where one player's like 6 cards ahead through their deck, and you're just like, what do you do as the opponent at that point? But at the moment, both players are actually pretty even in terms of how deep they are in the deck. It's more about the hand and what they choose to do with it at this moment. There's the potion from Doc, and as I said earlier, that's actually a relatively threatening board now.
And this goes back to the point of forward planning and, like, honestly predicting the future that you need if you play cards like Shadow Visions early in this matchup. Jason took Shadow of Pain, killed a minion, and then, well, the Kazuka's Potion just revived it, plus a 5/5, plus another minion. He was offered Dragonfire Potion from that Shadow Visions, but how can you predict that your opponent took a completely board-focused Kazuka's Potion, and so that you're going to need a high-value AoE? It's almost impossible to predict. Especially
because it's just not a strategy, like not your core strategy, right? It's not like a lot of the time you expect this to happen in some decks. It's like, well, no, it's just this kind of minion push is actually insane, and outside of Dragonfire and a Scream, Raza Priest doesn't really have a good answer to this kind of shape of board.
Priest's win rate in the tournament is trending back towards 50%. It started off very, very hot, though. It was up towards 66% after the early days. And these 2 players are people who are responsible for that high win rate, because neither DocPwn or Jason has lost with Priest yet this tournament. So one of those undefeated records is about to end right here. And again, with how complicated a deck it is in a lot of positions, that goes to show a great testament to both of these players navigating the deck.
Yeah, look at the power of this potion. Just put Jason down to 12. Yep. He has Mind Blast and Smite in hand.
Yep.
Just a lot of damage.
Aggro Priest.
Yeah.
Get him.
Sometimes people think of all these crazy strategies. I like to revert back to just punch them in the face. They can't kill you if they're dead.
And it goes back to what I was talking, like, again, Jason just had no expectation of this happening. He took a Kazuka's Potion early, and he didn't take any removal, because why would he need it? He Shadow Visions early, and he didn't take any removal. He took small removal just to answer the board that turn. Because
and it came back.
Why would he need a Dragonfire Potion? Well, it turns out because there's a huge board that's just been beating you down.
9 damage on board after this, Anduin comes down. No Raza means there's no cheeky hero power usage going on. This turn at least. Okay, we're definitely just getting clips of you, or sounds of you making these noises.
You want a compilation of random sounds that have come out of Salsa's mouth this week?
Yeah.
It could honestly be a description of pretty much anything I say. It is just a random sound that comes out of my mouth.
It's not random. Language is random.
I'm sure some people would argue otherwise.
Oh, definitely. That's how much they argue when I talk.
My excitement that turn comes from the potential of the Lyra Double Radiant turn that can come somewhere in the future, but it might just be completely surplus to requirements with the amount of pressure DocPwn has already.
Could be lethal this turn. You played Lyra. Got the right cards.
The right cards being Holy Smite over and over and over and over.
Gara was here, he would say, but does he see it? Doc just going for the very, very just safe Anduin, like almost why not at this point? It's only more damage next turn. And he is not even remotely close to dying on a total of 35 health, whereas Jason, his Anduin's already down, his self-heal is limited to this greater healing potion and maybe something going forward out of his own Lyra. Where do you fall on the side of the Lyra and Gadget Zamfence?
So Auctioneer is better in the mirror and better against some heavy control matchups where you just need to find your like Velen combo and just smash it out as quickly as you can. Lyra does a little bit more against aggro a little quicker, and it can also sometimes help against Jade Druid, where sometimes Jade Druid can gain so much armor that the combination of every card in your deck doesn't kill them. So you need to add additional resources to add additional pings to be able to kill the amount of armor they can generate. So if you can play both and you're expecting all of those decks I mentioned in the tournament you're playing, play both.
Yeah, why not? Tom did.
Tom did. Jackie was talking about it on Twitter as well after qualifying for, I believe, the Take TV tour stop.
Yep. Jason does get the Raza though off the powered shield on the Elemental last turn. Used the Great Healing Potion to just top himself up to a safer health total. I would not say safe, but safer. And we know Raza can make this. But now that that Great Healing Potion's gone, Jason's defensive capabilities are kind of thin to non-existent at this point because Anduin's already live for Doc, and we can see now Doc is probably going to press the button on these Elementals. See.
The shadows grow short.
Probably just going to go for the pass this turn, right?
Push his face for 6 more. Mind Blast and Holy Smite is 7 more. If he could hear it, if he could just get a couple of more hero powers in that turn, he would have been in business. Not quite sure what DocPwn's long-term game plan here was with dropping the Radiant Elementals, but I guess he's just trying to consolidate damage on board just to make sure that something else can connect next turn to back up this Mind Blast Holy Smite combo that he has.
Yeah, and with no Raza down for Jason at this moment in time, so from Doc's view, it's very difficult to clear this whole board up. If one Elemental lives, it's still looking very, very good. If none live, there's probably a 3-3 alive, and then look how much damage he has from hand.
Sure.
With the hero powers even at 2 mana, because Mind Blast and Smite, that's 3 mana total, and 6 extra damage.
Was it better, perhaps, instead of spending 2 more mana on a Radiant Elemental and floating a ping, to just throw out a Holy Smite and ping face again that turn? You get 1 extra hero power out that way, keep a Radiant Elemental back in hand for the fallback of Velen or Lyra later in the game if you need it. I don't know.
So you just consider it the other way, and if you draw Velen soon, you just Mind Blast Smite anyway?
Oh yeah.
Without an Elemental, do you know what I mean? Like,
if you draw Velen soon, yeah, the game ends.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of can Jason ever stabilize here and put you in a position
I think
where it
after
falls
seeing
back.
the healing potion, I don't even think there's anything left that can really get him there. Although, Resurrected Priest to the Feast, I mean, why not at this point? You're going to use the Mind Blast just to get any form of extra healing that you can. See there, Jason just prioritizing the kills onto those Elementals. Or the silence on one to stop the effect going on, of course.
So there's 8 damage in play, 13 from adding the Mind Blast, 15 from adding the Holy Smite, which means 2 pings makes it lethal by my count.
I'm not going to dispute that one. Looks pretty good to me.
Darkness.
Sure, Doc is just going to be like... This always gets tricky when the hero power costs mana, right? These are not mathematics you're used to doing that often.
This is not how you're supposed to play the deck.
Yeah,
Why does my hero power cost mana?
It should be free!
Bedroad, please. He can't be too upset, though, because it's a 2-0 lead. DocPwn is finding his way over the line again. It's his priest that remains undefeated. It's China's last hope that is now 1 game away from elimination. How long can this go on for DocPwn? Can he